Next up, we have Novo Resources. Novo has the Nullagine Gold Project in northwestern Australia. We are going to be joined by Michael Spreadborough. He was previously CEO of MetalsX Limited, Managing Director and CEO of Nunes Tara Resources, and Non-Executive Director of Cleantech Holdings. He has a mining engineering background, over 20 years of experience in mining lead, zinc, uranium, copper, gold, and iron ore. He holds roles across the scope of the industry, from business and project development to operations and exploration. In recent times, Mike was the general manager for WMC, and then later the VP of mining for BHP Billiton at the world-class Olympic Dam mine in South Australia. He was previously general manager of coastal operations for Rio Tinto, responsible for port operations at the Panawanika mine site. He then assumed the position of chief operating officer for Novo Resources, which was formerly Ivanhoe Australia and Sandfire Resources. So just a wealth of incredible experience there, Mike, and we're eager to find out what is going on with Novo Resources. So why don't I turn it over to you and you can fill our audience in.
Thanks very much, Anthony. Let's see if I can get this up and running for us. So hopefully you can see a slideshow there.
We can indeed.
There you are, all good. So look, it's a pleasure to give you an update on Novo Resources. So for those that aren't aware of the story, Novo is a TSX innovative gold producer. We're based here in Perth in Western Australia, and we have a significant exploration growth project, and we have an extremely large holding of tenements in Western Australia. We've recently commenced production in February 21 at our Beatons Creek Gold Project, and the last quarter we produced 18,000 ounces of gold. So that was a rapid startup. Exploration is core to our strategy, and we have excellent long-term potential and over 13,000 square kilometres of highly prospective tenements here in Western Australia. The balance sheet's good. Cash position at the end of the quarter was 44 million Canadian. And I'll talk about this further, but we have a large strategic investment of about 140 million Canadian, which secures the balance sheet. And we're very well supported by a great board and management team who have a lot of experience in mining from exploration through to development and production. Recently, we refreshed our strategy, and we're very clearly focused on embracing innovation to responsibly transform minerals for the benefit of our shareholders and stakeholders. So in particular, we do like to rapidly adopt innovative solutions and technology. We're actually very comfortable in finding deposits through exploration, developing them and taking them through to production. So we're a bit unique in that regards, and we definitely enjoy working for the benefits of all of our stakeholders. So here's our tenement package, 13,000 square kilometres across the northern part of Western Australia in the Pilbara region. Very large position, which is larger than some of the iron ore producers in the area. So it extends all the way from the eastern side, as you can see here at Nullagine, and all the way through to Karratha on the western side on the coast. So Nullagine, a small town there, you can see we've got the Golden Eagle processing plant, and that plant we're using to produce gold from our Beatons Creek project. It really is first-class territory. As you can see, we're surrounded by Tier 1 gold projects. In particular, north of us, you can see the De Grey mining project, the Hemi, a 9 million ounce gold project. To the south, Capricorn Metals project. Callawindra has a 2 million ounce project. So across the board, we're surrounded by great projects, and we're out there looking for similar projects in our area. So the Nullagine processing plant was purchased from Millennium in 2020, and this forms the backbone of our extensive infrastructure to process the Beatons Creek Conglomerate Gold Project. And the Beatons Creek Gold Project is some 10 kilometres away from the plant, so very, very close. So you can see here, we've got a processing plant that's running at 1.8 million tonnes per annum, power station, on-site laboratories, camps, admin buildings, and very good access to water. So a very extensive infrastructure that will serve us for a very long period of time. It's recently had a commissioning birthday, So it's in very good condition going forwards. So, throughout 21, the focus has been a rapid ramp up of production, as you can see in the slide, and I've talked about it before. We produced 18,000 ounces of gold in the last quarter. Processing plant is running at 1.8 million tonnes per annum, which is fantastic. Great recovery rates. You can see that on the slide. We're over 94% recovery overall, which is fantastic. So we've seen a really good performance going forwards. Given that we're in Western Australia and Australia, we've seen very few COVID impacts, a few supply chain issues, but our people have been safe. We've been able to operate and commission and continue our exploration activities without any COVID impacts. So that's really important for us. And going forward, somewhere over 90% of our staff and contractors are double vaccinated. So we're in a good position in terms of COVID protection going forwards. So as I said before, we like to adopt new technology to improve the economics of projects and be able to bring them on board. And mechanical sorting is one of the areas that we've built internal capabilities. So we completed phase 1 test work on sorting of our conglomerate projects back in 2019 and 2020. We've now actually purchased the sorter, and we recently put out a new announcement that shows pictures of the relocatable construction that we're putting in place for the sorter, and that will allow us to move the sorter across different deposits in the Pilbara and bring them online. So that sorter has now been relocated to the Nullagine processing plant at Golden Eagle and is being assembled. And we plan to test over the next 4 to 5 months a whole range of samples from our projects across the Pilbara, and in particular our high priority projects of Comet Well and Purdy's. The gold concentrate that gets produced from the sorter will go into the gold extraction part of our processing plant. So that's very simple and low cost. So the plan going forwards is we'll relocate the sorter to Comet Well in early 2022, and we'll do a large scale test work of over 20,000 tonnes of product, with the aim that in 2023 or 2024, we'll commercialise the product and go into production, producing gold and trucking the concentrate back to our processing plant at Golden Eagle. So exploration is absolutely core to our strategy, and we see this as the key value driver for our shareholders. We have a world-class team. As I said before, a very large exploration tenement package of over 13,000 square kilometres of very highly prospective tenements. Our key is on the discovery of gold projects that have the potential to provide feed to our processing facility, and we definitely have the capacity for that plant to produce over 100,000 ounces per year with the right mill feed. Recently, we've changed focus a little bit, and in parallel to our gold focus, we are looking for highly prospective base metal targets. We've already identified copper, nickel, PGE and lithium projects on our tenements, and you'll see news flow as we work through those projects and do some drilling early in next year. We're definitely surrounded by good nickel and copper projects around our tenements, and we should see some really good, exciting news going forwards. We also have some very significant JVs in Victoria, so that's in the eastern part of Australia. Those JVs are with BGM Resources and Kalamazoo, but importantly, they're close to the Fosterville mine, which is obviously a very large, high-grade gold project in Victoria, owned by Curtin Lake. So coming back to that story of our investment portfolio, so you can see on the slide, we have a value of 140 million Canadian in that investment portfolio. Most of that investment is related to our 9% share in Newfound Gold, and we're a very supportive shareholder of what the team at Newfound are doing and their success in the drilling program. So that portfolio provides us access into the Canadian market. But importantly, we're good supporters, and we believe it helps strengthen our balance sheet. So a very important asset for us going forwards. So just to kind of sum up before we get into some questions, we really are focused on value. We've refined our strategy, and we're driven by that strategy. As I said, we are an innovative gold producer. We like adopting new technology. Our drive is to, in 5 years, be a 250,000 ounce producer for multiple projects. We believe ESG performance is critical, and we definitely have a focus on being a sector-leading ESG performer. As you've seen, we've got a great, exciting mix of production and exploration assets, great upside in our exploration tenements, and you should see some great news flow going into 2022 as we continue our drilling program. And that exploration program will continue with an aggressive spend that we'll talk about in January to the market. Well-funded balance sheet, as I said, 44 million cash, 140 million investments. So we've got a strong position to continue the work that we do. And as I said, a very credentialed and motivated board and management to deliver long-term investments. So that's where we are with Novo. Exciting. Keep an eye out for the news flow coming forwards in exploration and also in operations over the next coming months.
Excellent, Mike. Thank you so much. I mean, Novo is a name that's familiar to a lot of our readers and our delegates, so it's really great to get an update on the progress you've been making there since it kind of first jumped into the public eye a few years back. I think also, you know, there's this more, certainly we see, you know, we want our platform to provide more of the bridge in these open conversations between all the exciting activity that's happening in Australia and what's going on in Canada. We're seeing more Australian companies acquire Canadian assets, and we're seeing more Canadian investors becoming aware and having that appetite for what's going on in Australia. So really happy to have you on here to help bridge that gap. I guess, can you give us a little more detail on the ore sorting program for 2021? And is there any, you know, just kind of go over again the guidance on production profile for the coming year?
Yeah, so with the ore sorting, if you kind of go back to last week, we put out an updated news release. So that ore sorting facility, which is not only the sorter, but it's a crusher, chutes, conveyors, relocatable type arrangement, that's now been moved to our processing plant and has been assembled. Within about 2 weeks' time, we'll start treating those large bulk samples of the 9 deposits across the Pilbara. So you'll start to see some of those results early in 2022. Once that program's finished, we're going to pack all of that up and move it to the other side of the Pilbara where our Comet Well project is, and we'll do that 20,000 tonne parcel all the way through 2022. We believe it'll be extremely successful, and we're very much focused on 23 moving that into commercial production and being able to have a long-term gold project in the western part of the Pilbara.
Excellent. Thank you, Mike. And thank you for really underlining as well a little pet peeve of mine. We have to make sure with our North American audience, when they see Pilbara spelt, a lot of people, I'm sure you get it a lot in North America when you come here, they say Pilbara. And of course, that first A is silent, everybody. It's Pilbara. So there's a little quick lesson. If you want to get some street credit in Australia, make sure you say Pilbara. Is that, am I fair to say that, Mike?
Yeah, very simple. It's Pilbara, and it's the Nullagine Gold Project.
Okay, so there we go. Thank you very much, Mike. Great to talk with you. Thanks for joining us. Continued success through next year. Take care.
Thanks.